Okay, Miss, this is Kieran Carter from the group of Joseph Charles, Peter Henry, and of course me. Unfortunately, Joseph and Peter were getting trouble with their computers with the recording. Um, they had some mic problems as well, so they decided, okay, the best thing to action would be they send it to me because my setup was fairly set up well and all good recording stuff. So is how I'll be doing the SQL execution and the small explanations that they sent me. Okay, but first I'll do the PowerPoint presentation with presenting our group project and summary of what's inside the document. Okay, first thing first is the company profile. We did a company called the Warpspeed Computers Limited. Is a computer and hardware accessory supplier that's been around for like 20 years. It has about four establishments, one in Chagonas, Port Spain, Pinal, and San Fernando. Apart from sale from computer parts and accessories, they also do technical support services as well as IT servicing, repairs, and upgrades to computers. Also, they have warranties and services other services in the IT field. So let's move on to computer information systems. In computer information system needs, the information system will be a key to the effective execution of the daily operation and management of the Rapspeed Computers Limited, increasing efficiency and thereby the profitability of the business. Records are retained to facilitate data mining and view towards determining and guiding the company's decisions making by use of insights gathered from data collected. We have a few examples of the information systems. Of course, we go in more detail in the documentation itself. So one of the examples is the employee register. In the employee register, we have the position title, position ID, the salary, and the commission rate. That's when we add in the position for the employee. When we add in a new employee, we have the employee ID, the employee name, the age, the job position, the job description, and of course the employment status at the time. Edit edit employee records, example to change employment status from hire to release records are not released, in keeping with data retention and mining policies. Then we have the stock keeping, which defines the item type for general information about what kind of items and stock we have. So that would be like Intel i7 or Intel i5. So in that section, we have the item type ID, the item type name, the item type description. We also have a defined item, which would allow to the definition and description of the item. So it will be item ID, the item name, the item type, the item description, and item price. And we have also stuff like repairs, repair types, and the sales system. Now I'm moving on to the functions of information system. In the function information system, we have reports. So reports will be like the daily reports for the customer quotations, the customer invoices, the verified closed customers, the repair orders, and the amount of other queries such as custom returned items. Then we have the weekly reports like employee sales and the completed repairs. Then there's the monthly reports like the monthly sales for the different locations and branches, the employee's monthly salary, the employee's health surcharge, employee NIS, as well as certain things like the annual queries. Then we have the employee's Christmas bonus that can be calculated using this query, and also we have the stock history and sales trend. There's just a few reports, then we go more in detail in the documentation. Now we have company business rules. In company business rules, the individual pieces logic that an organization uses to carry out its operational and managerial tasks are referred to as business rules. They are actionable instructions that define, constrain some aspect of business operations and management that always evaluate to be true and false. The business must always be profitable. It is not specific and actionable enough to be considered a business rule, for instance. Okay, for deeper information about the business rules, that will be also in documentation. So would be stuff like the employee register, which has each employee has a bit employee position which defines his or her job specifically, and many employees can have the same job position. Each employee has a unique ID to identify their employee registry. Then there's employee salary, which is determined by the salary and calculating commissions for his or her commission rate as defined by his or her position. Then we have the stock keeping, which will keep each item as an item type. Many items can have the same item type. Each item has a unique ID, just like the employee ID. And items can be associated with one or more suppliers. A supplier may supply one or many items. Then we have things like repairs and sales. This is just a touch of what the company business rules contain, and it has deeper detail within the documents. And finally, the ERD. As you can see, is an example of the ERD that we produced. We did a couple of edits, and this is the finalized ERD diagram. Now we're able to translate this entire diagram into DML and DDL code, and now we'll get into the DDL code as I execute the entire group's SQL queries. Okay, here we go. So first off, I'll start with the queries I have for examples. So list of employees who have worked the last year with sales records, allow annual sales raised by percentage depend on records. It shall be grouped by branch. Okay, so I was able to create this query, and after creating it I created a view. So now I'm going to use the view code, which I've already saved, to display the query that I've just created. Now, as you can see, the view works. So select everything from annual underscore reports. So this displays the employee records for the last year or so, with how much sales employees have, and it will determine if the employee will get a raise in commissions or salary, etc. So now, just to make sure that to prove that I didn't just select everything from the database, I'm going to copy the exact code, and the exact code is just exactly as the exact results as the view. Next, we have a list of employees who have started within the last 4 months. Records of employees' weekly sales we evaluated the change in contract terms. Okay, so most of the example queries I have the view outputs. I just want to display that we did the view as well as the normal query for it. Here we go. As you can see, we queried the view and displayed the employee's information for the invoice date for the last 4 months. And here we see records of all the stuff that was done for the last 4 months from employees. Okay, just copy the entire code again. Execution. Right, so we're moving on to util code. List of the selling stock at each location across a period of time in order to allow annual sales of the old stock. Find the average selling product, which is the subquery, and compare it to the least selling product, which is the standard definition. Not deviation. Okay, so once again, we'll try the view code first. As you can see, the average, we set definition of the quantity of stock, which would allow which will allow us to see what stock is selling less than the rest of the stock, which would make it reasonable for us to put stuff on sale. Once again, I'm going to copy code above to ensure that the view was properly created. As you can see, same results were placed. Next, list the total amount of sales that all the branches get in different cities. Okay, from here on, this is Joseph code. No, this would be Peter's code. My apologies. From here, we are going to copy Peter's code for the total amount of sales depending on branch and city. Right, total sales from city. As you can see, an next view was created for it. Right. Next, this is sales from all employees, or from highest sale to lowest. This can be used for determining the employees of the month, who to give a raise, etc. Okay, let's copy this code. Alright. Now let's try the view. There you have it. So next code will be list of suppliers by their total amount of sales. This is useful for identifying important business partners. It also shows which suppliers businesses depend on the most. If depending on any one supplier is too much, business might want to look at diversifying for safety's sake. Here, so we create so we copy SQL, execute. From here we see the suppliers and total sales from the suppliers. Now let's execute the view. Okay, view has been totally executed. Save results. Next query, list customers by the total amount of money spent. This can be used to guide the business relations with especially valuable customers, can send out greeting cards during holidays to them, etc. So we should copy the customer code. Execution. Next, the view. Okay, now we're moving on to list best-selling items. This can guide which items to keep higher number of stock in. So we copy the combination code for this, execute it. As you can see, code has been executed. And now we do the view. Alright. As you can see, the view was created and the same as the code we just executed. So next would be list branches by both the products there. This can determine which branches carry the most high-end items. Can be used in analyzing performance of stores. Example, if a store is performing poorly, maybe they're carrying too many high-end products. Right. 16, the total products. The branch name. Let me execute a few for it. And okay, list employees and their managers, reviewing during meetings. Information inform new hires on the manager at their branch and on the general management structure of their business. Right, now Joseph's code. List all employees who have the same job and group them by branch. Example, employees who are sales clerks grouped by branch. This will allow managers to identify all of the employees who have the same job specification per branch in case an employee needs to be transferred to another branch or location. Example, store management tieback. Okay, now this one does not need this one does not have a view. It uses a command prompt. So it will prompt us here. Then I'll go here to the jobs and enter a value. As such, it will list all the values of the job title for people who are currently branch managers. Okay, let's try repairman. Right, as you can see, all the repairmen from the job title were listed. Now, let's move on to the next code. Now, this one has a view. This one is find the average salary of all employees and list all employees whose salary is below average. This will allow managers to identify all of the employees whose salaries are below average and may need a raise. Right, let's copy the view. Post it, average salary, and the average employee salary that needs a raise. Now, let's just execute the code itself. Right, as you can see, same code. Now, next code will be find all employees who were hired in the same year sorted by branch name. Dynamic where I enter the year. This query enables management to see all the employees who started work in a given year that can easily know when employees were hired within the year. Example 2017. Okay, so this one does not use a quick view. So I shall post it. And let's try putting 2009. Submit. Yep, one employee was hired in 2009. Okay, let's run it again. Let's try 2015. As you can see, five this time, 6 employees were hired in 2015. Okay, so next execution. And finally, list the number of employees working at each branch and group by branch name. Currently, this is provide information for the human resource personnel to decide where a new employee should work based on the number of staff working at the branch location. Okay, so first let's try the view. Right, as you can see, staff ID with the branch name. Okay, now let's try the actual code itself. So this code is to calculate how many staff members are working in a branch location. So we have 7 working in south, 9 working in north, so on and so forth. This code allows the count, and voila. Alright, that's all for the project. Sorry for the late submission to YouTube. As we said before, we had some difficulties with recording and stuff. We had to record, had encoding problems and all that. So, but we got everything we need to get done. As such, thank you very much for listening and happy holidays. Good night.